welcome to the video. Apologies, the audio didn't work out on it. I've tried to edit it so my voice is hardly can be hardly heard. It was unfortunately not picking up my vocal very well, so it was you really couldn't hear what I was saying. So I thought, rather than waste the chance to put the video up, it does get me out on the Harley. You can hear it to an extent. And I really just wanted to give a brief introduction to why I got into Harley Davidson. For 41 years of my life, I never touched a Harley, my riding life. I always had an attraction to them. I always felt that they were good looking bikes. I loved the sound of them. I was never a potato hater. I always thought they sounded good. And they just looked like timeless classics, really, to be honest with you. You know, in this age where everybody's, you know, creating retro bikes and so forth, the Harley is really an original retro bike. It's never really changed its stance that much. It's engineered forward, technology's improved it, but it still is, you know, almost like a big agricultural tractor. It's a bit unfair to say that, but you know, it's a very nice mechanical bike. You know, I probably first decided to get to Harley by opportunity. Someone had mentioned to me that someone was selling one, that he was an old man, that he, you know, was still riding. He kept it in his house. So I went along, seen it. It was and I'll put some pictures up, but it was an ultra classic, and Jim had it for 23 years or 24 years, and he had it from new, and he did keep it in his house, and it only done about 8,000 miles. Absolute cracking bike. It was completely original. You couldn't have bought a better bike. I mean, it was expensive, but on reflection, looking back now and knowing more about Harleys, I think actually it was quite a good price. And cut a long story short, as much as I loved the bike, I started to read up on all the potential issues, and it was a 2000 model, and the problem with that model was the twin cam shoes could prematurely wear and break up and go into the engine gubbins. But so I looked into that, and I found that bike was a great candidate to do a gear to gear conversion. So to take the cam chain away and just put in a gear system, so there'd be no chain, just be gear to gear driven, which sounded like a great solution. But the chap who was going to do it, and he's a well-known chap in the industry that does the Harleys in the UK, does a lot of the engineering work. He said, "Oh, I'll have to cut your push rods," he says, "because I wouldn't touch that top end." So that was okay, you know, they wouldn't touch the top end because he said if anything goes wrong with that ignition system, fuel injection module, that's it. You can't get bits for them, you can't get them repaired. So I read into that and I thought, shite, you know, I've now got this Morelli injection system that it goes wrong. So I sold it, right? I panicked and I sold it, and I just wanted to get my money back. I'd gone into it blind. On reflection, looking back now, I wish I'd kept that bike, even with all its potential problems. But you know, it did. I moved it on, and then I was still interested in the Harleys, because when I had that bike, I went over it and I really had it on the lift, and I loved the engineering, and I was really taken by it all. So I then started to look at what other bikes there was. I asked my partner if she would get me a book about the history of Harley engines. I needed to know more about the engines and how they evolved, and she bought me this lovely book, and if I can find it, I'll stick a picture in for it. And that brought me up to date. And then the person who bought my Ultra, he was a Harley specialist. He was an individual private sort of trader, and he was a really nice chap. And he, we had a long conversation, and he said, look, if he was going to go for a Harley, it would be the later twin cam. I think in 2007 roughly, they updated the cam chain shoes, the cam tensioner shoes, to be a different material, but the problem was that the tensioner was spring loaded, and the spring was causing too much tension, and that with the inferior shoes was causing premature wear. So what Harley did was they then decided to they replaced it with a hydraulic cam tensioner, and that took away the constant pressure because it was governed by the hydraulics instead of a constant spring tension. So they were much more durable, and I didn't want to look at the Milwaukee engines because in my sort of budget, you know, the early ones were problematic, and I wasn't going to stretch to the expense of the later ones. And to be honest with you, I didn't really feel that the twin cam was going to be an issue, especially if I got a later model. So I then saw a Heritage Classic, and that was just a beautiful bike, and that just ticked all the boxes. It was a 2015, one of getting towards the end of the twin cam life, and I bought that, and I can't remember what it had mileage wise. Very similar, maybe about 10,000 miles or something like that. I can't remember. It was maybe it was very similar mileage. No, it wasn't. I think it was 6.5 or something like that. About 3,500 miles on it, so that would make sense. So I bought that, and that was great. I did quite a lot of mileage on it. I did a 1,400 mile trip around Scotland. We did the NC 500, we did the inner loop at Durness, we went to Skye. It was a great time, and it was mainly a great time. But the limitations of the bike were, I wished at that point I'd had the Ultra, because just trying to carry stuff was not easy, and I will put up a picture of how my bike was loaded. Certain things happened on that trip, including a camper van reversing into that bike at quite a rate. I had a 360 camera on it, and they caught the whole incident. The chap actually reversed into it twice. He didn't know I was behind him, and he wondered what was stopping him from getting. He thought it was a hole in the sort of gravel, so he just, you know, he didn't realise it was a bike he was hitting. So he did it twice. It was awful. When you saw the video, you thought, oh my god, you know. So there was about £1,000 worth of damage. Now the chap, give him his due, he paid it all up. He paid it all up front. He didn't want to go through insurance. But between the trip and certain things that happened, I just fell out with it, and I sold it. And then when I sold it, I really felt that, you know, as the months went by, I was really missing it, and I was really missing not being part of the Harley gang. Because when you buy a Harley, you know, it sounds a bit cheesy, but it's not just the bike you're buying, it's a big family. And you start getting involved in the clubs and so forth. And Harley riders just like to ride miles, that's what they love to do, they just like to ride distance. So, you know, these bikes put on big mileages, and they're capable of big mileages. So anyway, just before, just around about Christmas, this one came up in a dealership, and I was tickled pink with it, so I bought it, and this is a 2013 Ultra Limited. It's not the Classic this time, and I didn't really want the 2014 model because I didn't really want the LCD dash. I just wanted the traditional dials, so I got really the last model of the year that didn't switch to that, and here it is, and you know, it's got all the amenities that make it absolutely brilliant, you know, and I will stop in the video at the Beveridge Park, and hopefully you'll hear enough in that voice without me voicing over me talking about the bike. But no, it's just been, you know, I've probably been riding the Harleys now for getting over 2 years, and I really enjoy them. I think they sound great, they ride great. I think you know, this style of bike is comfortable. You can do a lot of distance. You're not going to have too much trouble carrying stuff. It's a 1690cc engine, so you know, it's got quite a bit of grunt, and more than enough to be happy with. and it's got a few good amenities built into it. The person who had this bike, or one of the owners at least, certainly spent a fair bit on putting extras on it. When I bought it, it didn't have a heel shifter for the gear change. Obviously someone didn't like that, must have took it off, but the dealer fitted one free of charge, so I got that fitted. And other than that, it's I even took a 3-year warranty on it, just because peace of mind. I know people will jump up and down about the Harley dealers and don't get the service and so forth, but I've got to say, you know, in the dealings with this one, even when I was dealing with them on a bike that I didn't buy from them, they've been pretty good, and I'm fairly confident that they would look after the bike reasonably well. I do look after it myself as well, obviously, but I just thought, for peace of mind, for 3 years, I don't have to worry about anything major mechanically going wrong with it. And I've just decided and told myself that for 3 years I'm going to ride this bike, and I'm going to put as many miles as I can on it, and just enjoy it, and, you know, get out with Dunedin, part of the chapter there, get out with, you know, on the aim for some runs, and yeah, it's just a great thing to be part of. And it's now it's unbelievable, you know, 41 years, never had a Harley, and here I am with one now, and I've got had 3 in that, you know, in a space of a couple of years. But I think I've found the one that I want to keep, and we'll just enjoy it as much as I can. And so there should be plenty of videos on it. This is the first video I've done on it, just because I bought it at the end of the year, then winter came in, and I really wasn't prepared to go out on salty roads and so forth. Little update on the workshop while I'm on. Yes, things are still moving on in the workshop. With the VFR, I've now stripped down the fork legs. I've not stripped them down, but I've got all the bad paint off them. I've got them to the point where I've done some repairs on them, and they're basically ready now for edge priming, or almost ready for edge priming. Same with the busted caliper that had the broken bleed nipple. I've got that all set up and ready to go as well.
I saw a heritage classic Softail, and I fell in love with it. I thought, that is it's a bit like...
This is me telling you about the Softail.
That's what I want, that's the style that I want.
Yeah, it was a beautiful bike. I'll put a picture up of it, it really was.
I bought one, and I'll post a picture.
This is Bunt Island, and right on the coast here.
1,400 miles on it.
There you go, that's me talking about the trip. What I'll do is, from this point onward, I'll probably just let the original video play, because I've kind of given you my sort of, you know, why I was posting the video, and hopefully when I stop at the park for some pictures, you'll get the be able to hear the audio. So I'll just zoom out now and shut up, and luckily you won't have to, other than hearing a very low voice, you won't have to suffer me too much. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great Easter weekend. I feel shamed that I've 4 days break and I've only managed to get out today on the bike, but I've been busy in the workshop, and it's coming, and I will make another video when I catch up with that. Take care everybody, bye for now, keep watching, bye.
I wish I'd kept the ultra. After that trip was the bike got reversed into by a camper van. And I had a 360 camera on, and I caught it on the camera, and I'm going to try, if I get time, I'll try and see if I can find it. And it got sub-shut twice. Now, the chart was a nice one, really nice, really detailed, not long story short, you get the momentum, and the repairs or something like that, at that point, it's so it's just, really sponsored bike weekend on it as well with Darryl. Put some art down out there. And then I'll be doing Thunder again again. I'll get a chance up there. Walk around. Grab my last up there. It's no good. And that was how I wanted to have these. You know, it's no level the bikes. I know Harleys have their issues and I know that. You know, I've been over it. It's a big iron frame. videos. So I'm kind of giving you a brief summary to why early. So my plan with this bike is if all goes well, I'm just going to enjoy it for at least 2 years. Do as much ride on it as I can. What the fuck's going on here? Start. As a boy, I used to go to games, enjoy a pie and a cup of Bovril. These bloody cold, not pie, but Bovril, for the weather. Long time ago. Almost at my destination. If we get there then, the video's run fine. I'm going to do what I want to get you. Get a bit more than fine. And if you notice, when I had the BMW, I was lifting my leg over it like I was getting on and off the cruiser. And then I realised that it was just a habit, you know, there was no reason why I couldn't get off the BMW normal. I just got into the habit of getting off it like I get off a cruiser. Stupid boy. Somebody's put a lot of extras on it. It didn't have the heel shifter, so the person must have not liked the heel shifter, but they put one on for me because I just like the heel shifter. It's a bit alien without it. It's got heated grips, work really well, best heated grips I think I've ever used. It's obviously got the radio and the stereo, radio and the CD player, cruise control. You've obviously got these leg shields to help protect you, and then these are little storage buckets that you can just keep stuff in, wallets and so forth. And you've got one on either side. They've obviously put on these sort of disc covers that, you know, do dress it up, and the caliper covers. All these are mega expensive, you know. Then they've put in some other bits and pieces, Ride to Live stuff and all that. But tasteful upgrades really. The person who owned it or has owned it, or people that have owned it, somebody at some point has lavished a bit of love on it and really put some nice kit on it. It's got the Vance & Hines pipes, which are unlike my Vance & Hines that were on the Softail. These ones are not as loud, but they're still loud enough, but they're good. Oh yeah, highway pegs. It's got the highway pegs on it, which is great to have. I'm just amazed this camera's still going. It's going to go at some point, and we're getting close to the rain, I think. Get back. I wave to everybody, by the way. The trouble is that when I'm out on my push bike, I still wave to motorcyclists, and I wave to other cyclists. I can't help it. It's just inbuilt in me that if I see someone, even when I'm out running, if I see someone running, I'll wave at them, and sometimes I've got a funny look off them, you know. But it's just a sort of acceptance that we're doing the same things and acknowledging it, you know. This is the Oxford Trail Road. Quite a tricky road. This is I've told this story a million times, but in the 60s this was a turn-up road where there's a certain section of the road where they used to try and get 100 mile an hour. Remember that most of these bikes in those days couldn't do 100 mile an hour unless they were tuned, and they had horrendous brakes. Suspension was like fairground attraction, right? really were brave souls to even attempt it. It's not like today where you can take your 200 brake horsepower bike and top 100 miles in the blink of an eyelid. It's a famous road, a lot of lives lost on this road. I used to think it's my brother's favourite road. He says that I used to like this road really quite hard. I never had the like it. I always felt the like it. But 50 years in, I'm starting off a bit more. I don't really mind it so much now. So you can see the Harley's got lots of torque. Cool, no problem. Very different to riding some of the other bikes, you know, it is different. But there's a certain charm about it, I don't know what it is. I love that sound, I think you probably get that sound. Got a learner here. When you're doing this sort of really 20 mile an hour, it's nothing, you know. It really is so balanced that all the weight is so low down. It's really easy to manoeuvre. I mean, obviously if this bike decided to go over, you're not going to be stopping it. You're going to be looking for somebody to get on a different path. All the gravity is very low, the weight's very low. When you see the picture of my soft-tailed luggage, you'll get a wee idea why I thought, you know, I should have kept the Ultra, and why when I looked for another Harley I thought it's got to be an Ultra. because I don't want to have all that hassle, strapper bags on, doing all that kind of stuff. You know, I want to be able to carry most of my stuff in cases if we get extra bag on vaccine. And also the weather another good news for it. This is a really, I suppose, the blue weather cover. easier. Now really with any big bike, when you want to, when you're stopping at junctions, you really should always try and just take your approach into the stop. Don't do the last minute, have a look and then go over the team, because that's when you get caught out and something suddenly, you can't see it, that's what comes up, that's what people we got one on, we fitted it for free, so it's kind of okay. And you know, that's the other thing, the camera's probably quiet, it has to quiet, is it not already quiet? I believe it. But the thing that the you know, I found Harvey Stairs not too expensive. Not anywhere out of the town. I found service quite good as well. So, you know, my experience so far with two Harleys buying bits for them, that's pretty bad, you know. It certainly wouldn't be something that could work. The only thing that I would say that was a bit of a shocker was the switches there light up. Put them on the light up, right? But I don't know if someone's put some kind of cover on them. It's just a bottle, right? Now, I don't know if that's removable. I've never seen another Harley with the bulb sort of put, the bulb put like this. Never seen it. I don't know if somebody stuck something on to make it more tactile so they can feel it. I don't know. I've never seen another Harley. Anyway, priced up a new set of switches, £470. I know you can get third party ones for under a couple £100. I can get a bit of discount. It's going to be like £300 to fit. So we're talking about £800 to replace these switches. And granted, there's a lot of work and a lot of stuffing off to get into them. But thank God, I couldn't believe that. But I might just get the switches, put it aside. I'm so tempted to see, have a closer look and see if this has just been something stuck on and that the original flat LEDs are living below these bubbles. If that's the case, then I would just pull them off. But I don't want to damage them. Get a full down that one. Just look at the case. Have a closer look at it. Anyway, I can't believe the camera's lasted. It has. I'm sorry I've got involved. It's been a chance to get out on the Harley and hopefully you've enjoyed it. I will catch up with you quite soon in the workshop. I'll do an update.